Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the March 2nd, 2026 regular city council meeting. Would you please rise and say the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shirley, roll call, please.
Becky Curtis. Here. John Breckenridge.
Here.
John Feiger.
Yep.
Mark Carr. Ross.
Here.
All right, that takes us to our very first public participation this evening. If you'd like to talk to us, be sure to come up to you're welcome to come to the podium. Be sure to sign in your name and your address and have 5 minutes.
To us or at us?
To us. Sometimes it's at us. Preferably to us.
Don't get it started.
All right, that takes us to our consent agenda. Shelley.
Item A, motion to approve the minutes of the February 23rd, 2026 regular session.
I will entertain a motion to pass the consent agenda.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5 in favor, 0 opposed. That takes us to appointments.
We don't have any. We do now have 3 openings on the park board and 2 on the code board of appeals that we need to fill. And I think the next one coming up is there is a renewal on the TIP board that we should have the next meeting or 2.
Is that up one on the park board?
Yes, so we've had 1 more resignation.
Yeah.
Kristen.
That moves us on to the city manager's report. Scott.
Thank you, ma'am. So we were just here last week, so the report's not been super long, but, we still have not received any updates to the city attorney from PST. I haven't gotten any plans or any updates. So we're gonna meet next Monday and kind of discuss that and see what our next suggestions are regarding that. The Genwick project, we had a meeting, that was the same night as the last meeting, last Monday. They did have CGM Smith's Chad Johnson was here. The USDA staff was here, Shauna Barnes. She's a project specialist and program manager. And so they did set a deadline of this Friday to have all of our submissions turned in. So we'll get those all in, and they said it takes roughly 45 to 90 days to get final approvals to take you into your loan. So we're prepared to give them everything we need to do. They did do their outstanding punch list completed on January 5th. So those have all been addressed, and Chad Johnson has finalized that and submitted for, we've gone from substantial completion to final completion. So we're at the point where we're just waiting on them to issue the use permit, which would allow us to transfer and sell water. I don't usually publicly like say that, but one of their staffs that does that is out until after Friday.
Yeah. Her vacation's this week.
Shauna's?
No, Denise's.
Oh, that's.
So it's hard to get your issuance when the staff people are out of town. But we expect that to be coming shortly, momentarily. So we're still awaiting the final permit. Once that's been done, we'll have clearance to begin utilizing water. We'll keep you appraised for any updates or milestones as they occur, but it looks like we're kind of at the end. So we also met with the fireworks committee. So staff met with the chamber, Main Street, the Friends of the Firework groups. The current vendor that we used last year, is not able to do the July 4th on the 4th of July. They have the 2nd and the 3rd open. They are investigating other options with vendors. Not sure if that is optimal or not, but everyone kind of decided the 3rd would be best with all the scheduled concerts and events that are going on in town. So we'll get back to you on that. The chamber was going to go ahead and do all of the notarizations and additional insurance and all that. So there's still some discussion on that, but I wanted you to have an update in case you hear anything. That's all I have.
Any questions for Scott?
Can we talk about City Hall later? Is
that?
I think that was taken off.
I took it off after last week, but you had some questions.
I thought we were gonna have it on every meeting.
We did until last week.
Well, and it's always on the city manager's report, so.
Okay, can I talk about it?
Sure.
Or ask about it? So we've been through all of this. It doesn't seem like we're getting we don't even have a plan. And the plan is just wait till they concede, and I'm not big on that. And I wonder, one, why can't we just go ahead and start fixing things?
We are.
Well, I know we are, but just to make that the plan, and is there anything that we can't do
Anything that needs to.
without an engineering stamp? Because we talked to all of these builders around here, and they told us there's nothing here that they would have to worry about. That they build houses, they build buildings, they build, commercial buildings. And the brickwork, that's not a problem. The roof, we decided wasn't a problem. And, we're all kind of sitting around on our hands for fear of making a mistake, but we're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. And I would like to really get down to a punch list of saying, is there anything that we can't fix ourselves?
Yes.
Well, what is it? And is that coming from you, or is that coming from,
No, it's just the guy, I've listened to these and.
well, I've listened to them too, but they've changed their attitude in the time that we've talked about it. And I would like to know what it is and why. So, because just like we said, and I think John would agree with it, we talked to these builders that they would be happy to fix it. And I don't think that's,
I think the only thing that I remember hearing about needing the engineering report, was that if something was in there, they might need to do an engineering report for a specific thing, but we wouldn't necessarily know about it ahead of time, which is fine. I mean, we get in there and get as much work done as possible. That's why I pushed for the roof.
Yeah.
Let's get as
and I
much done.
appreciate that.
Well, at one time, we were gonna do a roof that
Right.
needed engineering work, so that's
Well,
why.
there was thought on that. I don't think it was ever, I don't remember it ever being.
That's what they had in the, drawings at
Yeah.
first was the hip roof.
Yeah, they
In the
just-
very beginning, that's what they put in the,
Yeah.
that's what they put in the
Yeah,
drawings.
That's why the engineering.
and that was the big hangup.
Yes,
Now we're not doing a hip road.
right.
And so, and I cannot, I'm no spring chicken, and I've had buildings that we've had to work on, that sort of thing. I don't see anything in there that, we can put a French drain in or whatever, if the walls are getting saturated, we can pour a brick mold footer to do the brick on the outside. Ira, correct me if I'm wrong, or whoever's Tad,
I think
that's Tad's deal. So I just think we're being held hostage, and I don't see this end in sight. And I don't want them to think that we're just sitting here at their mercy and we're gonna fork over. We paid our dues, and I think if we had to go to court, I think that a judge would say, well, you did everything you could do. They're the ones, and I really question whether we need an engineering report.
Scott and I, we talked about maybe having somebody just to come look at the windows
Yeah,
and tell us, are they really put in backwards like PSC claims they are?
and here we are talking about windows. That's kind of basic, You can go wherever and buy windows and have them replaced. You don't need to have an engineer come here to look at them. It'd be nice, so you don't have to replace them. But it's not brain surgery, as far as the windows.
And it's not brain surgery, but the only thing that concerns me is to do everything in the right order.
Right.
And I don't know that.
Well, don't you think some of these builders would?
More than I would, yes.
I see what you mean, but,
I just don't wanna get something out of order, fix something, then you're saying, well, you should have done this first instead of, I don't know.
I know, cause you and I talked about windows versus the brick facade and which comes first. So, well, you tear the brick off and then you look at the windows, because some of them have, brick mold around it, you have to position that in a certain place. And, you know, I don't see it. I don't see, because from a legal perspective, we were told this by our attorney, it might be 2 or 3 years before this goes through court. I'm really not interested in waiting that long. So unless Patrick, and unless you have a solution that's going to be 6 months or something like that, I don't want to go another summer and doing nothing and being held hostage and having to look at that thing, and nor does any taxpayer in Cameron.
Well, and you also have to remember, we have additional cost because we have to have our staff up at a building,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
a lot of additional cost.
absolutely. And the rent for all or lease on
That's a
all
good
the
point.
furniture. So even if it costs us a few dollars to bring somebody
Yeah.
in,
I think eventually we'll get to that. The reason there had to be an engineer is because they're taking out the restrooms that's in the city hall.
Yeah.
That all had to be redesigned along with the entranceway with the concrete because it's separated. So that is where, from my understanding, is where the engineering had to come in because it's gonna be all new, different.
So if worse came to worse, you could hire a different engineer and say,
Yes,
you know, we need a restroom engineer and a foyer engineer, cause that can't be $750,000, you
So I
know?
think the brick ledge on the front was
yeah.
a big issue.
Well,
Because
but
it's structural.
anybody that's built a building knows that you can pour a footer and put a brick ledge there.
are doing just fine.
That's not,
The 2x4s are doing just fine. Yeah, I think.
we're gonna keep the 2x4s Ross.
I mean, I don't want to get too into it, but just to respond, I think, they did a lot of architecture and design work, which wasn't necessarily engineering. Engineering would be
Yeah.
like, hey, we're
Right.
changing out the headers, the structural components.
That's true,
It's more like general contractor type services.
right.
I think that's where we've all kind of talked, but I think one of the more expensive components is gonna be the doors and windows. And so if we can get some estimates and some professional, commercial window door people to give us quotes and inspect it and look at it, at least then we kind of know, yeah, we do need to do that or don't need to do that. And I've had construction projects that they were not dried in and they didn't have a roof and they started doing drywall and the contractor's like, well, we can put some stuff in and get started. And they, pulled out $80,000 worth of drywall and
Yeah.
the contractor takes that on their own risk. But I think, you want to be dried in, you want to make sure the roof is done and the windows are done. And if that requires the brick, the only thing that I've seen in talking with staff and walking and looking at it is there's also permeation through the foundation. So I don't know if that means there's some kind of sealing that needs to be done on excavating and sealing in the foundation. Those are things you would want to do before you get your external components and the interior remodel is pretty efficient, pretty quick. But I think where you're sitting now is the brick, the windows and doors and the foundation issues. And I think a general contractor, those are general services. I think all of those things probably need to be done. But I think where we sit with discussions with the council, councilors, is I think we're at that precipice where we don't think they're gonna perform, so we need to initiate something. But I think outside of that, we still need to have an action plan to start commencing on some of this work.
Right, we need to get a punch list of things and do our best to get it in order. We can consult with other people and work on that. As far as that foundation, surely a French drain would cure any kind of water problem.
It has a foundation drain.
Oh, it
We
does.
see when they put the fire line inside.
And it's working. So there
I
should,
didn't actually see it, Spencer seen
The foundation drain? That was your gutter drain.
Or gutter, or whatever.
That was your gutter drain. We didn't get far enough down to see a foundation drain.
Yeah.
I know that the waterproofing did not go all the way up to grade when we cut that out. That's concerning. So a
Well, I
French
know-
drain wouldn't fully fix it. You would need to re-waterproof.
Well, on my house, that's what they did. I just had them go, they dug clear down below the footer, and then they cleaned the wall, they sealed the wall, fixed every crack, and they, backfilled it all with gravel.
But
And
that wouldn't even have been on the, sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt,
go
but that's not even on the engineer's report, I don't think, was it? Didn't they say it was fine? If I remember correctly? That's what I thought.
I think Tad said this is something they've been noticing lately, right?
Well, I think it's
Since
been
last
since,
summer. Since last summer,
There's water.
we had a heavy rain, since the wall,
Exactly.
everything was torn off. You could see it seeping through in a few
So-
places.
well, before it was even torn off down in the basement, when you and I went down there, you could tell it had been wet in that.
That was where it was coming in, those Zach's office, and running down the wall down.
It's challenging because the scope of work they were supposed to do and the reports and all, we should have answers to all that for the amount of money the city's paid.
Exactly.
And so, and that's where it comes back to, once it gets to the attorney's level, I think we're in a position where that will be kind of a separate resolution than actually moving forward, because we don't have those answers and they haven't provided those answers, so.
Well, I don't wanna wait 3 years to get that resolved through legal.
I don't think we're going to.
You
That
think we
was
could-
just
Well, that's what Patrick said. He said it could take 2 to
I
3
think we
years.
could get a general
to
contractor
resolve
to
with
come in,
them, but that doesn't mean.
give us some
to fix
ideas
our
on this
City
stuff.
Hall. He was talking
No.
about the.
I know what you take.
Let's put a resolution in to get a general contractor in here to give us some information.
I like that.
This may have been before I got off, is the City Hall group still meeting, or?
I have not seen them
We
in a
haven't-
while, I don't.
No,
We
we
haven't
haven't
gone
had
to City
decisions
Hall.
to make because we don't have any answers.
But we can
We don't have any answers to me, so.
Yeah, we met to get decisions and we
It's a
don't have.
great group.
No, but in this case, they would be telling us what we need to review.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's a good enough cross-section of contractors that they.
Heck, yeah.
should be able to-
I think this works 2 ways too. One, we understand it better. We end up with a better resolution, even if we go through the engineer. And also, we're able to fix things and save a lot of money if we wanted to. And, it also puts pressure on the engineers if they start thinking, hey, they're just going to ignore us.
I don't think they care. At
No,
this
I don't
point,
think they
I
do.
don't think they care one way or
I
the other.
agree with you. I don't think,
I mean, I have experience in water plants, city halls, airports. I would say that the billings you've received and the performance of work they've done is extremely excessive compared to even places like Olson,
yeah.
Stantec, some Jacobs Engineering. They charge, a lot of, some of the days they came, they charged $9,000 for meetings to be here for a day. That doesn't seem in line with normal practices, but I wasn't here and, some of the directives they got about, the air scrubbers and mitigating mold, and some of those things are not cheap services. But I feel like for what you've spent, we really still don't have answers to the basic questions of what they were scoped to do. And that's a problem. In my opinion, I think when you get to that resolution with any performance contract, it's time to say, well, we definitely don't want to pay them more funds to keep doing what we've received from them to date. I think that's up to the council if they wish to give a recommendation to council and.
Yeah, and we can certainly discuss this, later this evening. I don't wanna, yeah. I don't wanna issue the license in open.
I mean, all this is a moot point if our legal counsel would say, well, that's gonna be over in 6 or 9 months anyway. But I don't think that's gonna come. So,
Not when they won't even answer us.
no,
It is frustrating. I've been here that long. This is only my 9th week and I'm frustrated with them and the process as well. I think we need to talk about that tonight.
okay. I'll
Yield the floor.
Anyone else with any questions? That takes us to unfinished business. There is none. So we'll go to new business. Shelley.
Bill 2026-3, an ordinance authorizing the city of Cameron, Missouri to enter into a contract with the Caldwell County Sheriff's Office to provide dispatch services.
Reading amended. Okay. So this is a full reading. I will entertain a motion to pass Bill 2026-14 on a first, on a full, on a first and second. Oh, yeah.
Three,
What am I looking at?
should be 2026-3.
Oh, because it was, it's covered up.
Stamped, it's this guy.
Stamp on it. Maybe I'll use this one.
I'll make that motion.
2026-30.
We're gonna just bypass you, Betsy. We can go around.
Yeah, I
You just
can.
jump in and help.
No, wait. Yeah. First and second?
Yep.
All right, discussion?
Mayor, council, thank you. As you know, back in May of '24, we went live with dispatch consolidation. Our dispatch center takes care of dispatching for all the services in Caldwell County. It was a year contract, so the contract actually expired in May of '25. So we started getting this going once our director and assistant director left. We got this all completed, got it through Caldwell County. All three of their commissioners signed it. The president and, let's see, Missy Lee, she's the board secretary, so they've all signed it. This is a 3-year the first one was a year contract. This is a 3-year contract. It'll expire in March of '29. They'll be locked in for the $516,124.68 a year, or $43,010.39 a month. This is just for the sheriff's department themselves. After, if this is approved tonight, then we have to go back and get contracts from each entity, police departments, fire departments, etc., which we will bring them back to you guys. We're requesting a full reading on this tonight due to we have the signatures and that we have not had a contract in a year with these guys.
Any questions?
When this was presented to us a year and a half ago, I was told by the city manager and the Cameron Police Department that when we went in this direction, that we would go down in the big building in the basement that has storage that's not being used right now.
Mhm.
And that this was gonna be no cost to anybody. It was gonna be seamless, and it was gonna be a good deal, which is fine. Is that still the plan?
Well, the plan for that was if we brought on more than just Caldwell County. At this point, the police department is not out begging or asking for any other agency to come on board with us. If one of the agencies come to us and wants us to dispatch, we will entertain that and we will sit down and discuss their options. But at this point, we did come back in previous meetings and say, right now, we're comfortable here. We were able to have 4 dispatchers in this center right here. We're taking care of both agencies, or all the agencies for Cameron and Caldwell County out of this center right here. And the only reason we wanted to secure that over there is because at the time when we consolidated, we had 2 to 3 other agencies that wanted to come on board and we wouldn't have any room in here for that. That's why we asked to move over there. But at this time, nobody else is knocking at our door, and so we're comfortable right where we're at for now.
Well, I know things change, but I was told at that time, and that's one of the reasons, not all, that I voted to go into City Hall and to refurbish it, because I was told that this dispatch situation was gonna get bigger and that we had the space to go over there seamlessly.
And like you said, things do change, and again, we had 3 counties that were on board with this, and once we got going and command staff has changed at some of these agencies, they backed out. So
Okay.
where we're at is Caldwell County and the city of Cameron at this point.
Well, I'm sitting up here in this chair, and I'm saying it's gonna be seamless, and I specifically asked the previous city manager, are we gonna have to build anything or lease anything? Oh, no. He leaves, and I hear these voices of a $35 to $50 million new public safety building over there. And now I hear a 50 by 100, 360,000 public safety deal over here.
I don't see a new public safety building costing $35 to $50 million.
That's not the point. The point is, I was told that we could seamlessly do that and move it right into there a year ago.
Okay.
And like everything else up here, I'm told one thing and miraculously it changes.
Do you think you could get more people on board once we do get over there and have the
Well,
space?
that's one of the issues.
I'm
is-
assuming you're waiting.
That's one of the issues is City Hall is the way it is right now.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of.
So at this point, we're comfortable in our own dispatch center right here. And if we do continue to grow, yes, we would love to have that room in the basement of City Hall
And that
that's
would
not being
work.
utilized, and that would work perfect.
And you wouldn't have to
It's-
have an
it's
additional
underground.
building.
It's underground, like what they requested.
It was
to
like
be
a
these
bunker
days.
style type deal, you
Correct.
needed with the vault and all the
Yeah.
things you
So-
need. Yeah.
So right now, we're in the situation that City Hall is the way it is, so we can't move anywhere, we have to stay where we're at. But what I'm saying is, we're comfortable here right now, so yes, if we grow and we bring on more people, then yes, we want that room under there, and all this stuff would transfer seamlessly right over to the basement over there, and it won't cost anything.
And we wouldn't need a new safety building for
Well, I
that.
wouldn't go that far,
Well,
not at this point.
for this,
Not for this, but.
that's what I'm saying.
But Miko and I, last meeting, we are out of room in this building. So, we've split up offices in here to make offices. And, he's cramming everything back here. So,
Oh, no, I
so
know
not at
that.
this,
I was
not at
just
this
saying
time are we
for
gonna
this.
ask for one, but down the road, we are going to have a new public safety building. And I'm not saying in the next 2 or 3 years, but, it could be 5 to 7 years we may come and ask. But that's why we're trying to come up with a temporary plan now, which will help us out until that day comes that we do come to you guys and say, hey, this is where we're at. So we're making it work right now.
Okay.
This building, when it was built in 1996, was built for the 12 police officers that they had at the time. It was supposed to have a second floor on it and a basement in it. Those plans were cut to build City Hall across the street. So this is what was left for those folks at the time. This wasn't built for the future. This was built for at that time. And so now we're out of room. But we're making it work. Like Mike said last week, we're not going to come to you in 2 years to say we need a public safety building. It could be 5 to 7 years down the road, but we are going to ask for a building because we are out of room, but we're going to make it work right now.
As I understand it, the highway patrol has office space in here.
They do.
How much rent do we get off of them?
Not very much, because, let's see, we run off of their mule system. Mules, you guys know what mules is? It's the Missouri Uniform Law Enforcement System. So that's how we run our criminal histories. We run our traffic stops, our license plates, and people. We do criminal histories. We do training and everything through that. So that's usually about $5,000 a month that we would have to pay the highway patrol to have this system here. So we give them that space in the back of the building, and they cut what we owe them down significantly. So for us using their system, they have a lower rent back here.
So as.
And they also provide us stuff throughout the year at no expense from the highway patrol to our facility due to them having a zone office in our building.
So is some of the reason that you're outgrowing the space because the two entities have become larger?
Yes.
And taking in more of a region and having more responsibilities?
It's not just taking in another region, it's the city of Cameron itself. Mike explained last week, all the big equipment that he has back here, we hired, when I started here, there was 12 police officers, now we're up to 18, that's due to the crime in the town. So we've grown substantial in the 22 years that I've been here.
Grown in what respect? Because we've shrunk in some respects.
So we have more police officers due to the crime. So we have more people in different areas of this building that,
Yeah.
we have people sitting on top of people. So,
Well, you know what I'm getting at, is like, where's the population of Cameron? I know it's hard to factor in because of the prison.
It's flat.
And so it's just flat.
The population in your city is in the rural area. I'm serving total somewhere around 18,500 people.
And
when
how
I was
long have you
serving
been
about
doing that?
14,000 when we started. Okay, so it's grown significantly out
Has
there.
the geographic area grown or just the population of that
144
area?
square miles has not changed for my fire district, other than my mutual aid, my automatic mutual aid.
automatic
which is
mutual
about
aid
50
changed.
square miles.
So neither entity has taken on more work.
The population's grown in the rural area significantly.
Will the Missouri
Get rid
Highway
of them,
Patrol
right?
kicking anything on this building?
the one across
The
the
new one?
street that Mike's
Huh?
on, for the
Is that
store,
possible?
They're not gonna use it.
they're not gonna be, yeah.
They're not gonna be in it?
No, it'll be, they have their zone office back here in the,
Where's their zone office at back? I don't know.
where the ambulance used to be, back on the southwest corner.
Okay.
I think as far as long-range goals, that would be something to start looking at, even if it's 10, 15, whatever years. And figuring out how to fund it. So,
Any other questions? All right. All those in favor of passing Bill 2026-3 on a first reading, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No,
It passes. 4 in favor, 1 opposed. I will entertain a motion to suspend the rules and pass Bill 2026-3 on a second reading by roll call.
so moved.
Second.
Discussion? Okay, Shelley?
John Breckenridge.
Yes.
John Biker.
Yes.
Mark Carr.
Yes.
Ross Worth.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes. All right, that takes us to resolution 2026-14. Shelley?
Resolution 2026-14, a resolution for the city of Cameron, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with TrueVoIP for the purchase of a citywide VoIP phone system.
I will entertain a motion to pass resolution 2026-14.
second.
So moved. Did somebody, he jumped the gun. You can't do backwards first.
Discussion?
Well, I guess I'm up again. So, we had Ryan Rose here last week to help, answer questions on the, citywide VoIP telephone system. Since the fire in June of 25 at the building up here, the phone service has been very crappy. I'll put it nicely, I guess. So the police department decided to start looking at the VoIP system. When I went up to City Hall as interim, we started talking to city staff about that. So we decided to do a citywide. Got with Carmen, she said that we were paying $2,500 a month for Brightspeed service. So we got 3 different bids. We decided to go with the TrueVoIP. let's see, the total due at signing, so the upfront cost is $12,147.50. That's a one-time charge. And then we will save about $1,100 a month going to this system. The monthly fee for the whole city would be $1,407.50. So that's about $1,100 savings a month for this system. So just to give you a little bit more information, we talked about this last week. So you guys know that I helped dispatch 3 days this week. So while I'm sitting in there, Brightspeed, that we would get a robocall, we'd hang up, and then the next line would ring, the same thing. Then the next line, then it would come in on the fire department's line and the ambulance line in dispatch. I'm gonna say the whole 3 days this week, I'm gonna say we had no less than 500 robocalls in that call center compared to the actual calls for service. And so I had a contact at Brightspeed, so I emailed him when I was in dispatch, and he emailed me back and basically said, it's not our problem. So there was some more discussion this morning at our staff meeting, and I don't think that they want to help us. I think they want to try to sell Brightspeed VoIP to us, and absolutely not. So we're recommending that we get a phone system that actually works, because City Hall's phones are not even working, and ours are half working. So.
How come such a high setup speed, or setup fee? I had VoIP for a while, and it was literally just a box that attached into my computer. It didn't take
These are going to be
work.
actual telephones. It'll be an actual desk telephone, which will they can send voicemails to email and stuff like that.
Well, sure,
So.
but that's all just in the computer. So I'm trying to figure out, I mean, not that it's a huge amount, but I'm just trying to figure out why the setup fee.
So it looks like some of it is the E911 system, which would be us
Right, I
here.
did see that.
And then the fax. So like right now, our fax machine isn't even working because it is a Brightspeed service into
Right.
that.
Looks like they're estimating 60 units at $179 a piece. That's what.
60 telephones. Yep.
So,
That was our estimate. Now, we may not, that may come down because we may not have the 60 phones.
Right.
We went through, how many did you come up with, Phil, on?
We were right at around 50 or so phones whenever we
For
were
the whole city.
when we went around the whole city.
So
Yeah.
we just did an estimate of 60 phones just to be on the safe side. So that number could come down because I don't think we're going to need 60 phones. So that was what we put on the bid for all three. So all three companies have the same
I got you.
same information. So that number will most likely come down.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Any other questions?
Sounded like a great idea.
Yesterday.
All those in favor of passing resolution 2026-14, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. That takes us to resolution 2026-15. Shelley.
Resolution 2026-15, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Cameron, Missouri, supporting a Missouri Department of Natural Resources matching grant application for playground scrap tire surface material.
I want to entertain a motion to pass resolution 2026-15.
So moved. Second.
Discussion.
Thank you, Mayor Council. This is something, a project that the Park Board is wanting to do. It is a piece of the playground next, just directly west of the new piece of playground that we just installed. It's roughly 109 by 51. It's still got some of the old pea gravel on it and whatnot. And we've been finding out a lot of that gravel is coming down on the new rubber surface that we just installed and whatnot. So try to keep the park updates and stuff, and the park board wants to just basically update that by taking that pea gravel out and putting down the pour-in-place rubber. By having this, it's just asking permission to move forward with filling out a grant. DNR's come out with a grant that we could possibly get up to $75,000. No matching, no nothing like that. We may fill it out and only get 20,000 of it, but the project is gonna be significantly pretty high to do. Regardless, the park board's voted and they want to spend their money out of their Fund 12 to make this update to the park, so. I was presented with this, and so I figured we just try to get some free money where we can to save a little bit, so it wouldn't cost the entire thing out of the park fund, so. This is just the first step, asking them to start the application process, so.
What's our cost gonna be if, let's say we do get the 75? What is park board's cost gonna be?
Well, with this size of project, I didn't really jump the gun, but I had Echo Surface come out. They're the ones that did the pour-in-place rubber surface on the new piece playground.
Right.
They gave me kind of a quote, kind of getting a general idea.
Yeah, that's all.
And the project's gonna be about $100,000.
Oh, okay.
But to do it fair, and I wanted to get some more pricing on it, and maybe we can get it cheaper. I've got with Shelley, we're gonna actually put it out in the paper on our website to
Sure.
get bids out on it. So, yeah, if we, get the full amount from DNR, 75,000, it would only cost, $30 grand to actually install, so.
Ira, why is that so expensive? Is there a lot of infrastructure work with drainage and stuff before you?
There's drainage, and it has to be to a certain depth as far as playground safety standards and stuff for fall heights and stuff, because it still has playground equipment on it, and we're not
Yeah.
replacing any of that at the time. But it is it's a bigger area than what the other piece of playground is also.
How thick is it then?
I wanna say it's like 18 inches.
'Cause, me thinking about it, it's shredded up tires, and they remove bead wire, and that's it.
But they pour it down, it's almost like it's all together and stuff too. So it's all one flat surface through there, so, and it will last a lifetime.
Oh, so it's not loose?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Oh, I was
sorry.
thinking
It's
loose as
molded.
well.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
molded
Yeah,
whenever
that's
they
a whole
put it
different
on.
story. I'm thinking old school
Those tires,
Mulch. tire mulch,
yeah.
so.
Well, like I said, it's just a project that the park board wants
Yeah,
to,
that's right.
they wanna update, they still wanna update Rec Park, this park board isn't, they're concerned about Somerville and updating it as well, but they still wanna update the rest of our park and rec, so.
Yeah.
It was just a grant that came across my lap, and I thought free money's free money, and we get some, if we don't,
How long does that last?
my 20 years, I mean, forever.
That's forever for me.
Yeah, well, for me too.
Is there any, use for the pea gravel? Like, should they try to save some of that pea gravel and move it around and?
Actually, the old pea gravel that we removed from the new piece of playground, we have it in a stockpile down there by the animal shelter. And we've actually reused some of it already. Joellen from the library asked me, they have that little, circle area up there where the rock is, where they read to the kids and stuff in the
Yeah.
summer and whatnot. It was all missing and stuff, so we took, 2 truckloads up there and replaced it.
Nice.
I also used some of it down at the dog park and stuff where, around the fences where the dogs run and it's getting muddy.
Yeah.
Clay went down there last summer and put a border around it. We just put the pea gravel in there. So we're trying to find places to
Sure.
use the pea gravel.
Okay, great. Great, thanks.
Yep.
This is all driven by Vernon, our insurance provider, and they made us take out that other playground equipment that's about 25 years old and go with this.
Yeah.
And insurance driven, wasn't it?
A lot of it, yeah. I mean, in this pour-in-place rubber stuff, it's got a fall height ratio a lot greater than pea gravel. And they've added to that over the last 500 years, the park's been down there, and it's 12 inches to 20 inches thick of pea gravel, so. The one thing that I'm requiring on the bid that I did not do, that I learned from it, is the bid's gonna include a 6-foot, barrier fence all the way around the area. Because we didn't have that in the specs last time, and we're just learning from it. When they pour that stuff, it's gotta set for a good 18 to 16 hours where nobody can be on it. I had to have Clay go down there because kids were jumping over the snow fence, and I didn't wanna get tore up. So in this bid, it will actually have a barrier fence all the way around it too, so.
That's temporary.
Yeah, it's temporary. Yes.
back in the day, my generation, you know, we drank out of hoses and didn't wear helmets and went down 40-foot slides that were 110 degrees, you know.
All rusty.
I think it was more than 110.
Maybe 120.
I was gonna say, I had some
Yeah.
icebergs
Yeah.
off the
I
week.
mean, it made us dumb and tough.
Nowadays, everybody wants to sue you because you don't have the correct fall line for a
Exactly.
piece of playground.
Yeah,
Or that's why they don't like merry-go-rounds, Joe.
yeah. I got thrown off a couple of those too, now that I think about it.
Well, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you tougher.
Poor dude.
All right, any other questions?
Hit my head.
For Ira? Any questions?
No.
All right. All those in favor of passing resolution 2026-15, say aye. All opposed? Passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed. That takes us to resolution 2026-16.
Resolution 2026-16, a resolution of the City of Cameron, Missouri, authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with J.R. & Co. Inc. for roof repairs at Cameron City Hall.
I will entertain a motion to pass resolution 2026-16.
So moved.
Second, whatever.
Discussion.
Third. They're like Ross. Third, I want that one.
Thank you, Mayor Council. This is just to enter into an agreement with JR Company for a TPO flat roof for City Hall. The lowest bid, we did have 9 bids. The lowest bid was JR Company of $102,981. There will be additional expenses after they remove the existing roof, because we don't know what the wood decking will be, how bad it will be. That will be at $7.85 per square foot at 100 square foot minimum. So Spencer and I, we discussed that we should also add an additional walk pad to be installed from and to the HVAC into the drains because they get up there at least once a year to check the HVAC and twice a year to get to check the HVAC. And then they will also come and inspect the roof at $600 a year for 25 years. You have any other questions for me?
So, we talked before about the drainage. One of the problems was of like a 4-inch rise before it got to the gutters. So is that gonna be repaired at that time?
So that will also be repaired whenever they put the new roof on.
There won't be new gutters and downspouts put on the building at that time?
There will be replacing the downspouts on the west side as well as the gutters on that west side. They're gonna replace all the coping cap around all the parapets. Everything that is involved with the drainage of the roof will be replaced.
So now, then, when we redo the brick, that all has to be redone, right?
It depends on how it's done. It may possibly be able to be put back up under there, but the main thing we want on that coping cap is to get it to slope back to the roof. Right now, there's ridges and ledges all over it, places for water
To
to
get it
sit.
to slope back to the roof,
Yes.
back to
Yeah,
where.
we don't want it to slope down onto the brick
Yeah, so it's gonna slope back to the roof where they're,
where the proper drainage is.
yeah, okay.
And they will be incorporating all the existing roof drainage systems. Like I said, replacing the one gutter, upsizing the downspouts and making sure that we're able to shed that water properly without it backing up.
That'll make me feel pretty good about solving a problem.
And they also said that after the 25 years, that if we need to come in and seal it, they can put a ceiling over the top of it, which we could probably get another additional 20 years out of that.
Well, really, in 25 years, you've spent $100,000, that's not that much money, you know, so if you ever had to redo it 25 years from
I'm
now.
guessing by the time they do the additional walkway and,
Yeah.
wood, I'm guessing 130.
Yeah, but still,
Yes.
you know, how 25 years, you think, wow, that was a long time ago. We've still.
And the 25-year warranty, the standard is a 20-year warranty, so the 25-year warranty does some of the flashings and requirements from the manufacturer.
So 1-year warranty on the work, I saw that in the contract. You're saying 25 years on the materials? I think that's all that in there.
I think it's a 2-year.
2 years, if I remember.
I thought it said,
continual maintenance program.
It's in, yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw it.
So with them
I'm
doing,
pretty sure I wouldn't have wrote that down unless I saw it somewhere in there. But I just wanna, I do wanna verify that, so it's,
25 manufacturer,
okay,
labor and material warranty, 2-year workmanship warranty.
okay, I'll take that, that's even better, so. What's the completion date requirements on this?
June 1st.
June first?
They said it has to be 40 degrees, the temperature has to be 40 degrees and climbing every day to do it.
Okay,
In order for them to heat weld everything that they need to.
We did do an addendum in the, bid specs because of that, because there was several people that were getting scared off because if we give them, what we give them, 60 days to do it, 90 days,
Yeah, we need
60 days, they was afraid that the weather was gonna turn cold again, and that was gonna be pushing that to get it done in that 60-day
all right,
period, so Spencer and I discussed it, and we bumped it up to the completion date is June 1st.
and then $100 a day if they don't, was that what it was?
That's, yeah, liquidated damages,
Something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
liquidated damages,
Something
yes.
like that.
yeah, 100, yeah, it was $100.
And then the additional costs, so we know for sure it's gonna cost more than 102.
Absolutely.
Worst case scenario, what would with the 785 per square foot for the wood decking and the 2750 additional around the
I'm gonna say
HVAC?
probably on the high end, I'm gonna say, range 130 to 150.
Like total out the door,
Total.
okay,
Mhm.
all right, that gets me.
It really just depends on what they come up with as they take off the roof and get to the roof deck, the structural deck. We're trying
Sure.
to maintain as much of that as possible. However, if there are issues there, you gotta replace it.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
also on the coping with all the wood nailers and everything that's underneath all that, it
Exactly.
really depends on what's there.
No, that's fine, I just wanted to know what we could be looking at on the high side, so.
And what the thickness that we decided to go with is thicker than what the original
Oh.
roofing is. This here, we still will not have to mess with any of the drains or the HVAC, so
Mhm.
Good.
the HVAC sticks up above the roof where we'll have enough clearance.
All right, I'm good.
Any other questions? All right. All those in favor of passing resolution 2026-16, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 5 in favor, 0 opposed.
I appreciate all the work you've done looking into that. That's taken a lot of time.
He's been working on this for at least, what, almost 2 years now? With me, I know it's been 2 years, so maybe longer than that.
All right, that takes us to our second public participation. We'll move on. Next is our miscellaneous comments from the staff. Scott, do you have anything?
I do not.
Council?
Nothing for me. Thank you, Mayor. Mike and Ted and I all went to the pre-construction meeting for the Bobette Griffin Road today. That's gonna start April 6th. P and Z, our next meeting is next Monday. We're working on the definitions chapter as well as the C1A, which is the downtown area. And we've got the council on there looking over we've got a couple of things that have changed. And as we go along with the definitions, we have found, Spencer and I have had conversations with contractors, and we need to make it easier for everybody to understand. And there are things that we're missing in it that would clear up a lot of the issues that we have. I've also got the fishing regulations to the Department of Conservation, so we can get that finalized. Alec Lantner, I got that sent to him last Tuesday, so we're waiting for them to get back with our agreements. And that, at that point in time, we found out that our fishing agreement with them for the reservoirs, needed to be renewed from,
Yeah,
they went from 2021 to, or 2021 to 2024. And so we haven't gotten the new ones yet. So it just basically says they're gonna restock it, and they have all the rights on the fishing, and they make all the regulations. And so the biggest things that we knocked out of that was no ice fishing. And the rest of it's pretty well. And, yeah, and the signs are up.
Why aren't they allowing ice fishing?
Once again, Mermot doesn't really like ice fishing, and I worry about the liability, because first thing's gonna happen is if somebody goes through the ice.
Staff doesn't want ice fishing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Mermot, staff.
Yeah.
I like survival of the fittest, if they want to do it.
I mean, I've seen pictures out there on Facebook and stuff where they are out there doing it. So,
I enjoy ice fishing
I'm
as
not
well,
gutsy enough
however,
to get
but
out
I'm not
there.
going on that big of
yeah, I'm
a
not
piece
that,
of water to go do it.
all right.
John Oaks did come in Friday, and he paid for the property, so the McElwain property is now sold officially. So that's a done deal. I'm also working on the other property sales. Right now is with council to get their blessing. I mean, the contract says what it's gonna be, and we've gone over that in the past. So that's going, lots of meetings with kicking it in Cameron. And then I'm also working with Ira on this, on the grants, and that DNR grant for the park is due by the end of March. So we'll be getting it, once I get all the planning and zoning stuff off my desk, then I'm gonna start getting that. There's also another one too for Region D. Yeah, for Region D, and that's for park benches, and if we get this one done, we'll hit that one out too. So, that's a little insight into what I'm up to.
Okay. Thanks, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Ira?
Myself and the park board have, started diving in on revamping the, park board bylaws. We started on that last week. The new park board that we have we're working together really well on that. Was upfront and honest with them. Once we started on them, once we finish them, I will be getting it to our city attorney for, Matthias and Patrick to look at, to get their blessing from it, if there's anything we need to change or add to it. And then once we do that, the park board wants to take it to you guys and make sure you guys are okay with it. Just to have everybody on the same page with it, a little bit different avenue going that way. So we started working on that. The guys are, revamping, remodeling the 2 bathrooms at McCorkle Park as well. They were pretty shoddy shape, over the last couple of years, and the homeless have done a number up there, so, the guys have went in and repainted everything from the ceiling to the floor, and, we're gonna replace some of the, not water fountains, sink fixtures in there, and then we're gonna have the electrician supposed to be coming in this week. They're gonna put a new lighting fixture in, new exhaust fan, and we're gonna get the power working back to the automatic door locks, so they'll automatically lock, so. Thought that might be a good thing for the community, especially with the summer coming up with the band and farmers market. You can actually go in there and use the restroom, not think that you need a tetanus shot after you get out of there, so. Guys been busy with that. Somebody emailed me about if I could kind of revamp the disc golf down there. The basket stuff, all the paint was off, so the guys went down and fixed all that, spray painted all the baskets down there, and we ordered some new flags and fiberglass poles to go in there, so that'll look like brand new for disc golf people. While the weather was nice there last week, a couple weeks ago, we started working on repairs on the pool. There was a lot of cracks, we got a 2-part epoxy, and we sealed up all the cracks around through there, did some touch-up work, fixed the bumpers again for the, slide area down through there, so. Guys been busy doing that, then we've been, slowly getting in applications for lifeguards. We're probably in the mid-30s with lifeguards that signed up for certifications and recertifications. Definitely not a final number. We had, like last year, some of them signed up and they didn't pass, or they didn't decide wanted to do it, but that's where we're at with, the applications on lifeguards. We're setting a lot better than we were last year. So that is about all I got right now. So unless you guys got any questions.
With the pool, is there any sort of warranty for all the cracks? You're saying that there's a lot of cracks in it.
Well, not a lot of cracks, it's more paint chipping away, John, where they look like cracks, I guess, they're not a big open crack or nothing.
Okay.
It's more of just the paint after 3 years the pool's been there, it's starting to strip away. Like around where one of the mushrooms is in the kitty area and stuff like that, it was all fiberglass and plastic and stuff.
Right.
And it's just flaked off, so we're just trying to keep the look on, a little fresh paint
Sure,
every
no,
year and
that's fine.
stuff, so make it look
Okay,
nice.
I just,
But no, I
Yeah,
shouldn't
yeah.
have said cracks, there's not, it's not opening up like a volcano or nothing. so.
man, we just bought this thing.
Yeah, we rephrase that, it's just paint chipping.
Okay.
You're not chucking out 500,000 gallons of water.
Yeah, we're not losing any millions of gallons of water.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Just last Wednesday, Eric and I, we went and we got our airport project got an award for the Kansas and Missouri Concrete Association. So Idecker and we represented the city of Cameron, and CMT was the engineering firm. We all went down there and we got an award for that, for our project. So I was on the aviation side. I meant to bring a plaque to show you guys, but I forgot it on my desk, so. And then, street crews are out finishing up, putting up the rest of the street signs and the ones that are missing, the ones that are gonna be updated to the new, the high prim, reflective.
High visibility.
High visibility, yeah, so. That's about all I've got.
Just a reminder, Friday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., we're having coffee with the cop down at Kingdom Coffee, so only 2 at a time. If y'all come down. Everybody else, you're welcome to
Or
come
let
at
me know,
once.
and I'll post a form down there.
That's all I have, man.
I spent a lot of my time going over all the city hall roof stuff lately, just trying to get those bids in line and make a good observation on that. We should have a building permit done and issued for the Travel America. They're gonna be starting breaking ground soon, within the next couple weeks. Georgia's ramping up to get ready to start doing her trap neuter release program again as it gets warmer. Trying to take care of the community cats and minimize the population there. That's something that she's getting ramped up, ready to do. And kind of where we're at right now.
Okay. Thanks. Carmen?
No, nothing.
Chief?
No, ma'am.
Water, guys.
That's you. I do the dirty side.
Really nothing to report. Wastewater plant, things have been going good. No issues there. Guys got some training coming up, but no news is good news there. As far as Genwood goes, on the operations side, we're ready to go. We're just waiting on that final okay from DNR. The engineer and DNR did come back with a few items on their final construction inspection. We addressed those for the engineering staff, so we got those taken care of for them. So again, we're continuing to do what we can do to help out, but yeah, we're just waiting for that go ahead to start moving water.
Shelley?
Oh, yeah, that's me. I will be, out of the office next week, Monday afternoon through, Thursday for the clerks conference. Carrie and I will be going to that. The next meeting is on March 16th, and we will have a 5 p.m. meeting, joint meeting with the park board at that meeting.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right, super. All right, I guess that goes to you, Mark.
I just had a question for Dan. So when we had the fire down here, I brought some stuff down, for all the workers. And when I walked in the PD, I noticed that everything's mirrored. When you walk in the door, it's all mirrored. And that's really disconcerting. It's when you walk in, and for one, there was nobody answering me at first. And then I didn't know if that's the way it is during the day too.
That is, so that wall is not bulletproof. That glass is not bulletproof. When they built this building,
Yeah.
below, so half of the wall down, the officers that were here took old
Vests, the old
bulletproof
light.
vests.
And stuck in
And
there.
they're in that wall.
We stapled them
So
into the wall.
Oh my god.
that film that we put on that window is bulletproof. So that's why that is mirrored like that.
It would really be nice if you could see who you're talking to, even if it was somebody on a TV screen. You know what I mean?
We're talking about that.
Okay.
And I wanted to do that with the record side also, because that too is a safety concern for my employee that's sitting in the records office. But, the main thing is these folks sitting in this office here, answering the phones in 911, that is a huge, and that's only been done like a month.
Yeah.
But it's for safety now.
Yeah.
To let us come up with a better plan later.
And it hasn't always been that way.
No.
I was gonna say, you know, I'm not a frequent flyer at the police department, but.
It's just been a month.
Yeah.
That is, and another safety concern is at night, when you drive by out here.
Yeah.
You can see straight in, and you can see the ladies and gentlemen that are in dispatch at night. That's
Yeah.
also a safety concern, so that's why that window is like that for now.
So I can see that. It'd be nice if you had bulletproof glass. So, that's all I had. Just had that question. Thanks.
Kathy?
I'm good. Nothing for me.
No,
Oh, wow, kind of quiet today.
well, we got it all out last time.
Well, I don't have anything to say except for tonight at 2 to 3 o'clock, what's gonna be outside? Red Moon.
Well, that's.
I thought you were gonna say the stair step satellite, or the stair step. We're all gonna be in line.
Had a successful one.
That's true.
Are you gonna go out in the red moon?
No.
Take a picture of me.
I'll see other people's pictures.
My cousin sent me a picture.
Okay, with that, I will, entertain a motion to, go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
For attorney-client communications, real estate, and negotiated contracts. Just wanna get that in.
Okay.
John Pfeiffer,
Yes.
Mark Hall.
Yes.
Ross Worth.
Yes.
Becky Curtis.
Yes.
John Preston.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks for coming.